When Jonathan called me up and showed me the script, then of course, I was very excited about playing this boxer. But when I read how relevant beyond boxing his life was for an entire country and therefore for an entire region, then I got even more excited. I don't believe in absolute evil. I don't believe in absolute good, kindness. So Duran is full of contradictions, but he gravitates towards light. So he's a luminous character. He's tender, he's tough, but he's tender at the same time. He can be very vulnerable and also brutal. And that is something that I found very interesting. It's been one of the biggest privileges and honors in my life to work with Robert De Niro and to do a movie like this with him. He's one of the most generous persons I've ever met. He is warm. He's strong. He has such a gravitas and such a credibility. He's so strong, and at the same time so close and approachable and has such a warmth and a command. It was so inspiring to work with him. It's been one of the best things that have ever happened to me. Well, I trained and trained and trained and trained and trained until I I almost broke. That's the only thing. I mean, I was training 4 hours a day for over 7 months, 8 months before we shot. It was very important for me to become a boxer on my own and to learn how to fight before I even try to learn Duran's technique and Duran's movements and combinations. It was very important. It was like, I mean, without me going through the experience of a boxer and living as a boxer, it would have been impossible to try to step into his, shoes. Because it was like wanting to become a climber and then just going to Everest right away. You can't do that. I mean, you have to go step by step. So for me, it was very important to feel the struggle and the hardship of training to become a boxer before trying to imitate and to emulate his style and his techniques. Panama is a country that's predominantly African, and it has a very important African culture there, and that has affected everything. It has impacted also the way they fight. So there's something really that is very musical. It's very related to music, and all this music, this rhythm comes from Africa, and that was something that was very important to me to understand and to integrate and to make it and to allow it to become my second skin, my second nature. So it was not only boxing; it was boxing and then understanding and I talk about it and I immediately you start, to move because that's you could there were moments where Jonathan wanted me to train listening to salsa music. Working with him was fantastic. He was very committed, Usher, and he's a dancer. And Sugar Ray Leonard had a style of boxing that was very kinetic, that was very fast, that was very kinetic. I mean, he would move very fast. So he would dance around. I mean, he also felt like a dance, and which drove Duran crazy. And definitely, I think that Jonathan was very very smart in offering this to a dancer, because Usher is a great dancer. He's a performer, but he's a dancer as well, because it really clicked with the nature of the character. I think that in Jonathan I found a true creative partner. I mean, someone who really understands me, and someone who, as an actor, gave me all the space and at the same time all the protection to get crazy and to explore things as to the fullest on set, in a film. I had rarely felt this level of freedom in a film. Many of the stories that come, film stories that come from a region, are about these drug dealers, like drug traffickers, and the bad guys. And very seldom we see stories about the good guys from Latin America. And Duran, although he was not perfect, and he's not perfect, and he's flawed, and has a lot of very interesting and contradicting traits to his personality, he's a positive figure. Duran, when he became the great athlete and the great boxer that he did, and that's part of the story that we tell in the film, his impact went beyond a national pride based on boxing. I mean, he became the identity of Panama. And when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard in the first fight, and won over Sugar Ray Leonard, then it was more than just a boxing fight. It was way more than that. In a way, it was a settlement of accounts, for many Panamanians. This is also a movie about fatherhood and the importance of the father figure in a man's life. So Duran is unconsciously looking for a father, and Ray Arcel has also some accounts to settle as well as a father. So they meet each other and they find each other to, in a way, heal each other's wounds in relation to the issue of fatherhood. And I think that that's also another layer that is beautiful, that is very moving, and that constitutes one of the most important conflicts in the film. Felicidad, La Fula, the character that she plays, she's the core of Roberto Duran's emotional life. So I think that without her, he would have been lost in many moments. And even when he in his life, even when he got lost and he was losing it, it was Felicidad who pulled him back, who somehow put him back on the right track. So that speaks about the importance of love and strong relationships in your life. And this is also something that we explore in the film. I mean, how important relationships are